Hi everyone. So today we are going to solve today's daily Leetcode question, that is a predict the winner. So yeah, let's see what the question is all about. Just give me a moment. Let me settle down for a bit. Yeah. So the today Leetcode question, predict the winner. You are given an integer array nums. Two players are playing a game. Okay. With this array, player one and player two. Player one and player two take turns, with player one starting first. Okay, both players start the game with a score of 0. At each turn, the player takes one of the numbers from either end of the array. The end of that is like first or end. So, okay, player can choose a particular, what you can say, player can choose a particular nums, okay, score, which reduces the size of array by 1. The player adds the player add the chosen number to the score. The game ends when there are no more elements in the array. Return true if player 1 can win the game. If the score of both players are equal, then player 1 is still the winner, and you should also return true. You assume that both the players are playing optimally. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see the test case. Nums is 152. Initially, player 1 can choose between 1 and 2, so obviously going to choose 2. If he chooses 2, then the player 2 can choose from 1 and 5. The player 2 chooses 5. Then the player 1 with left with 1. The final score of player 1 is 3. 2 is 5. Okay, 7, 1. So let's see this test case. 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 7. Okay. So he will player 1, P1 will choose 7. Then P2 will choose 1. Then P again, it's between 5 and 2. Player 1 will choose 2, 3, 3. And it will choose 5. That's why it is true. Okay. Okay, the length of array is just 20, right? Okay, okay. So basically it's a two pointer question. So let me create int I is equals to 0, int j is equals to nums dot size minus 1, int p1 is equal to 0, p2 is equals to 0, while I is less than equals to j. Okay, okay. Now let's take a bool check is equals to true. It means when it's true, it's the player one turn. If check p1 if check is true, then we will see if nums of I is greater than or equals to nums of j, then we will say p1 plus equals to nums of I, and we will simply say I plus plus. Okay, else we will say p1 plus equal to nums of j and j minus minus. In this case, we will make check is equals to not check. Else, if nums of I is greater than equals to nums of j, then p1, p2 plus equals to nums of I. Then again we can say I plus plus. Else p1, p2 sorry plus equals to nums of j and j minus minus. And in this case, we will put check is equals to true basically, and we will say check is equals to false, right? Okay, if p1 is greater than equals to p2, then return true. Let's return false. Okay. So it's true for the first one. Okay. Cout P1 and P2. Mm-hmm. This case is this, but it's just like this and this. So that's how the player one wins, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. P1 equals to 0. P1 first and P2 first equals to 0. Print I is equal to 0, I less than nums I plus plus I divided by 2 is equals to 0. P1f plus is equals to nums of I plus P2f plus equals to nums of I. P1f is 0. I greater than equals to 0, I minus minus. If check P1L else P2 check is equals to true, check is equals to false. P1 P1L is greater than equals to P2L true, turn false equals to true. Okay, I think it's going to fail for some test. Yes, baby, it's going to fail obviously. Let's visualize this test case. So, which is 8, 55 and 2. Going to choose 8 only, which means so it will go to P1, it will go to P2, P1, That will go to P2. P1, right? Oh, this output is going to be false. So even if it choose 2, it's going to choose. Okay, then it's also choose 4. So basically, wait. So it's going to choose 8. Then it's going to choose 6. For this task, P1 choose P1 choose 2. P2 choose 8. Okay, then P1 choose. Okay. When P1 choose 2, P2 choose 8. It's a DP question or what? It's a DP question, guys. It's a DP question. Okay. How are we going to use DP in it now? Or even recursion? So it's going to be something like pick, not pick, pick, not pick. Because if you see, it's like if I pick 2, not pick 4, right? Then I pick 55. Always going for the best now. Then it's 8. Okay. Going for 6. Good. How did I solve previously? Bro, might be at that time I copy pasted this question because I uses a memorization here. Fuck. Bro. let's read let's read some solution and let's see how they did it. ChatGPT solution. Why browse whites DP? Okay, so it's not like I don't like DP, but today I'm not in a mood of solving DP question. It's more like if I choose this number, then for if you choose a particular number, then my next weight is equals to that to the last one, right? See my solution, my summation. I think that is what I did. If I choose a particular number of I, then it is I plus 2 or j or else. I got it now what I done actually. Hmm. Mm. Okay, we got it what we have done actually. So if I put int solve put I and int j vector int and nums, okay. If I is greater than j, it means we have done it. Just return the fucking zero, bro. If I is equals to j, return nums of I. Okay, now I will show you what happens here. Now int the take I means if choosing ith, okay, it means I'm choosing nums of I, okay. Now if I choose nums of I, what other options I have? If I am nums of I, okay, either next time I am going to choose nums of I plus 1, either I'm going to choose, if I choose this one, and next guy going to choose the same I plus 1, I'm going to choose I plus 2 or j, right? That is the first choice, right? So if I choose I, the next time the guy will choose I plus 1, so I will choose I plus 2, then I will choose the j and simply the nums. Or the other option is, I will the guy will choose the jth element, then I will choose I plus 1 and I will have a choice of j minus 1, the nums. Okay, so it's minimum of both of them. I should add. Okay, I'm choosing jth index. So if I'm choosing nums of j, then the other choice is, either I will choose, if the nums of j has been chosen and the guy has chosen nums of j minus 1, then I will go for nums of j minus 2. So I minus j minus 2 and the nums, and the other I will go for, if it chosen, okay, chosen j and he didn't chosen j minus 1, then I have chosen I, then I have option of going for I plus 1, j minus 1 and nums. Okay, okay. Int current sum is equals to 0, 12, player 1 is equals to, what I'm doing is like putting int j is equal to num dot size minus 1, int I is equal to 0. Player 1 value is going to be, it's not current, like total sum. Player 1 value is going to solve I comma j nums p2 is equals to total sum minus p1, p1 is greater than equals to p2, to true. Yeah, guy. Okay, I have to return maximum of choosing, comma, jth. Great. Now let me explain what I have done and what I have gotten from my solution. So that solution is basically I copy pasted previously, but for now I just understand why I used the particular solution. So see, the main question going to is why we are choosing minimum here, because this minimum, we are choosing ith index. Now we are making a choice of the jth candidate here. So a jth candidate choice must be minimum, right? And our choice must be maximum. And then we are returning the max. So if you see, if I'm particular index, right? Let me say it's like the test case which I failed. Let me take the test case only. See this test case, okay? See this test case, okay? So if I'm at index 0, right? If I'm at index 0, what index 0 is taken by p1, okay? What are the two typical options by my p2? Is either it's going to choose last index, last index in this case, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like the fourth index or first index, right? Because it can't choose zeroth index, right? To either option is going to be the last index or the first index. So that is what I'm saying. Like if you're choosing nums of I, the other option is going to be either it is going to choose next time when I'm coming, I'm going to choose this num solve I plus 2, like I plus 1. If it choose the first index, if it is ith, I'm at ith and the first is given, when I plus 1 is gone, then I have a choice of choosing 55 only, right? That is I plus 2, and j is the last index because j he doesn't choose, he choose the I plus 1th index, right? If the guy chooses the last index, means it chooses the fourth index, means the I plus value, I plus 1 value, the first index value is still going to be there, and the jth index value goes from the last to second last. That is why it is I plus 1 and j minus 1. Similarly, for choosing the jth value, like here we are making a comparison for our player one, whether like which choice is going to make him a benefit. If he choose the first or last, if he going to choose the first, then these are the particular options, right? If he's going to choose the last, like if you choose the fourth index, right? The next time, if the other player chooses the like the second last index, so it is going to choose the third last index, right? So that is why we write j minus 2. If from the jth index, if j minus 1 is already taken, it is going to check the j minus 2 element, or else it is going to take the ith element, because the person chooses the j minus 1, he doesn't select the ith element, right? Same goes for if the person chooses the ith index, then he has a choice to choose j minus 1 also, and he have a choice to choose I plus 1 also. Because ith index is gone, so he's going to choose the I plus 1 element. So yeah, that is a question. I think if you face any difficulties or doubt, just let me know, okay? Bye guys.